Arsenal's new game plan is simple.
Win, win, win and win. That's what we want. We built for a few years right now. We have a team that is full of enthusiasm and so hungry to win trophies.
And yet it's terrifying to win, again and again and again, even if it means changing from what defined them. Set pieces?
It's really important for Arsenal because of the way that they're set up, you know, that they are such a resilient, controlled team that the foundation is so solid.
No problem. Defensively?
They are just so strong. We're tracking Arsenal this season against some of the best numbers that we've ever seen defensively in the Premier League. And this is not a slight on Arsenal, is it, or Mikel Arteta? This is a serious super.
They're on course to break a 20-year record. This isn't a coincidence. This is the truth. Mikel Arteta and his Arsenal team have been in the works for years. Now they're ready. Europe isn't prepared. Arsenal this season, they've been unplayable. Arteta's men have been sweeping past the competition. As of recording this, they're 6 points clear at the top of the Premier League, just behind Bayern Munich on goal difference at the top of the Champions League, 10 wins in a row in all competitions, and in those 10 matches, they've scored 21 goals and conceded just once. Ruthless, but it gets even better too. In those 10 games, they've kept clean sheets in all but one. In fact, in the Premier League after 10 games, as of recording this, Arsenal have only conceded 3 league goals this season, one from a stunning 35-yard free kick from Dominik Szoboszlai, another off a well-worked corner routine against Newcastle. No matter the narrative, it's still the same outcome. This Arsenal team isn't normal. It's all thanks to the game plan. Mikel Arteta has been in a constant evolution ever since he took over as Arsenal manager. He went from taking a team that hit rock bottom in 2020 to battling Champions League qualification and 3 consecutive second-place finishes, all while fighting for the league in each of the last 3 seasons, but this still doesn't quite cut it. To really understand Arteta's game plan, we've got to look at the squad he's got now and how it relates to when it all started. From the moment Arteta established an identity at Arsenal, he was clear about his team, his squad. He wanted players who could raise the game to another level when the situation demanded it. A young team, but also a team that could learn. What was the problem in 2021/22 when Arsenal just missed out on the Champions League? They didn't know how to manage games. They didn't have the experience. He fixed that with signings like Gabriel Jesus and Alexander Zinchenko in the following season, which immediately transformed Arsenal. Over the next 3 seasons, different problems came with the squad. Arteta, after the 2022/23 campaign, realised he needed a complete unit from back to front that was comfortable in executing all phases of the game. He benched Aaron Ramsdale and brought in David Raya. He realised he needed legs in midfield, brought in Declan Rice, brought in players like Kai Havertz. They took Arsenal to another level, but after 3 consecutive second-place finishes in the league, Arteta finally identified the 2 biggest issues limiting the team he's now built and an entire game plan on. The first? Arsenal weren't creative enough, and trust me guys, this isn't like you think it is. I'll tell you in a couple of seconds, but first, click that subscribe button to Kicks with Seb if you haven't yet to get more videos and content like this.
I never believed Arsenal's problem was finishing. Arsenal's problem is creating. That was the problem for them last season. They don't create.
Arsenal struggled to create chances, and this was down to something else in the team. It's not like Arsenal didn't have players in the squad who were creative enough, but it had become a trend for teams to sit back and form a low block against Arteta's men. They'd almost become predictable, and Arteta recognised that. Arteta's main creative threat was a right-hand combination of Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, and whoever the right fullback was, either Jurrien Timber or Ben White. Pretty soon, teams started to double down, triple mark Saka whenever he got the ball. Arsenal struggled for creativity and the spaces in behind when either Saka or Odegaard couldn't get in, until Arteta made 2 huge signings this season to address it. Eberechi Eze. Bala. Arteta needed more magic. A player who could take the ball and make things happen. A player who could see things on the pitch that very few would. A player who best of all wasn't predictable. That's what Eze is. He's very different from Gabriel Martinelli when he's played on the left. Rather than get the ball and opt to be very direct, Eze's appreciation of space helps him understand what's going on around him. It goes from the simple yet underrated stuff to the technical skills. Body feints to give himself half a yard on the turn or a shot. Composure in big moments. he's added quality, but he's just one of the two we're trying to highlight. The other one almost goes under the radar, but he's just as important, if not more important, to how the team sets up as well. Martin Zubimendi.
When you look at Zubimendi, and we've got to remember, when we done the finals, right? This man came on for Rodri and nothing changed, right?
Incredible.
And you watched everything about him is progressing the ball. Even when you watch him, he wins it, he gets it forward. We need that because we.
Solution. Last season, Arsenal operated with a pivot in build-up. The idea was to always try and find the wingers in space, but most times it didn't work out. Why? It's again down to the issue we mentioned earlier. The issue teams had figured out Arsenal, and so Arteta knew he needed a modern-day number 6, a tempo-controlling midfielder who was always trying to find the forward pass, trying to make the team tick. That's what Martin Zubimendi is. This isn't even about stats. Why? Because it doesn't need to be about stats. Zubimendi makes this Arsenal team tick now with his passes. He's got an incredible range either long or short, and at the same time, he's got an eye for goal too.
Madueke. Zubimendi! Well, as opening goals for a club go, that's pretty darn special. A sumptuous volley from the Spaniard.
Banger, no unnecessary PR. He's just come in and done his job. It's these two that are allowing the rest of the team to tick this season. For example, Declan Rice is scoring more goals now, because unlike in his previous campaigns, he doesn't need to worry about coming deep to help with the build-up up. That's what Zubimendi does. Due to his injury, we haven't really seen the best of Odegaard. Now Arsenal have a tempo-controlling midfielder, but in the few games the Arsenal captain has played, it's almost the stuff of dreams for any Arsenal fan. Having Zubimendi behind Odegaard unlocks a new level in Odegaard's game. Think about it like this. Last season, Odegaard alongside Saka had to come deep, sometimes inside their own half to receive the ball, and that's because either team sat really deep in low blocks, or the spaces in the opposition's half simply didn't exist. The situation now with Zubimendi behind Odegaard is simple. He's got someone who can feed him those balls in pockets and half spaces without Odegaard having to come deep. The security in behind. It's working, it's added layers to the operation as well. We mentioned earlier how Mikel Arteta based his game plan this season on solving two problems. The first was with key additions to help the style of the team. The second was finding a direct solution to the problem itself, the low block. It's simple. Arsenal dominate possession, teams who with all due respect aren't in the top 6. Even top 6 teams like Manchester City have sat back to cover spaces against Arsenal. For Mikel Arteta, it's dark, but it's the truth. If they cannot break them down in open play, there has to be another way, and that's what his solution is. Set pieces. Before we even get into this, we've got to clear out a common misconception. Set piece FC, playing for corners. There's been crazy talk about Arsenal relying on set pieces, but to be frank, it's just a load of bull. Arteta's master plan revolving around set pieces is pretty straightforward. The man even explains it himself.
Great, because it's obviously we generate so many set pieces, so you have to start from there. So when you generate so many, we have to understand and against these low blocks when they don't really want to jump and commit that many players there, we have another opportunity to put the players that we want in the position that we want with the role that we want, and we need to
When they play against teams that like to set up in a low block and defend deep, it's hard to break them down in open play. Arteta talks about set pieces as the opportunity for him to get the players he wants in the positions he wants them to be. It's a genius move too. Why? Why not? Teams will continue to sit in low blocks against Arsenal. We're more likely to see Arsenal play expansive football on occasions in big games when the competition comes to play, which will most likely be in the Champions League. The best teams in the world maximise chance creation from set pieces. Arsenal have just taken it to an entire new level. It's Arteta's plan, and it's working. With these two in check, addressing the key problems from last season and finding the solution to playing against low block teams, it's time to assess the Arsenal squad. Pound for pound, they're the most complete team in Europe. The squad depth is insane. Arsenal could really field a second 11 that could be playing European football or challenging for the Champions League at the very least in any of Europe's top 5 leagues. This isn't an exaggeration. Look at the team from back to front. David Raya is two things: an above-average shot stopper and one of the best sweeper keepers in the league. His backup is a keeper, Arrizabalaga, who has been capped for Spain and won European trophies at both Chelsea and Real Madrid. William Saliba and Gabriel are the best centre-back pairing in the world. I mean, the performances speak for themselves. Both units, both very good on the ball, both dangerous threats from set pieces. Gabriel slightly more than Saliba, but it's still the same effect. Now imagine Mikel Arteta taking off these two and replacing them with the options he's got as backups. Christian Mosquera, one of the best young centre-backs in La Liga last season, and Piero Hennicapia, a Bundesliga winner with Bayer Leverkusen in the 2023/4 campaign. Both are under 25 years old as well. Wicked. At full back, Mikel Arteta has recreated what it means to play the role in his team. Jurriën Timber and Ricardo Calafiori are his first choice fullbacks at right and left back as of recording this. Both predominantly played as centre-backs, which means both are more traditionally adept at defending than the modern-day fullback is. But at the same time going forward, both are weapons for Arteta. When he rotates, he can play a Miles Lewis-Skelly at left back, who when he's on the ball feels like a cheat code. Talk about this assist from full back.
Lewis-Skelly. Making decent inroads here, Miles Lewis-Skelly. And Martinelli! It's a beauty for Arsenal!
Fullback in quote, because it's like having a 10 playing from defence. Jurriën Timber might be the first choice right back, and deservedly so, but he got an extended opportunity only because of the knee injury Ben White picked up. Before that, Ben White was one of the best fullbacks in the league, and if you guessed it, yeah, he used to play predominantly as a centre-back as well. We've talked about Zubimendi already. Arteta can alternate the position to a more traditional defensive midfielder in Christian Norgard, a bit higher in midfield, and he's got 4 different profiles he can choose from. Martin Odegaard, a creative genius at the heart of the team. Declan Rice, a box-to-box midfielder whose understanding of space and deliveries from set plays is a big part of how the team functions. Mikel Merino, a goal-scoring midfielder who pops up with big goals and big moments when needed. Can play almost anywhere. Ethan Nwaneri, the future. Damn, left wing. He can use the speed and pace of either Gabriel Martinelli or Eberechi Eze. Right wing. Bukayo Saka is the main man, but now Arteta has added even more quality to the position after signing Noni Madueke from Chelsea. In attack, imagine choosing from either Victor Gyökeres, Kai Havertz, or Gabriel Jesus when he's fully fit. It's so crazy it almost doesn't feel fair, but it's clear now. 10 league games played, just 3 goals conceded all season, on course to break Chelsea's record of 15 goals conceded in an entire campaign from the 2004/05 season. With the rest of the competition faltering around them, there's only one reality we're left with. Arsenal will win the league, and it's thanks to the genius of Mikel Arteta.